Like you guys don't come here or something? There you go. That's it. You should receive it. Okay. Yeah, I mean.
I didn't know that was the issue.
Yeah, we've been waiting for them to come through, and then one guy canceled. So we're trying to get the best price too, because as we see, Esau tried to charge us the 3, and then Judah came through and said, yeah, so that's why we were checking. So yeah, hook us up after class, all right? Back on the point, we know we went offline. Forgive us. It's hot in here. I think the computer's overheating. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, the 28th chapter, and we're going to start at 1. And we're going to go over a little bit because this is a good question, class, point, and brothers need this, sisters need this. So we went over this: avenge not yourselves, render to no man evil for evil, railing for railing, forgive thy brother 70 times 7. This is a really good chapter if you have a problem with forgiveness. So read from verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 28 and verse 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
Read it again.
He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
You see how this goes with Romans? He that revenges is going to find vengeance. Like, it's not in your power because you start to take on the job of the Most High.
God.
First of all, why did it happen to you? Maybe the Most High wanted a reason to happen to you for you could be able to put the difference between the clean and the unclean. So you can look at yourself and say, damn, I can't do that. So a lot of things, remember, you came out of Christianity. But didn't the Most High save you?
God.
Didn't He give you the knowledge? He didn't leave you in Christianity for you to be worshiping Nimrod, Caesar Borgia. He delivered you from that, right? So, you got to understand that you don't have to jump to conclusions. The Most High will fight for you. He's going to deal with that brother or sister or individual. And most of the times, it ain't coming down to AI. Man, Most High going to vengeance on you. It can be something small where you can forgive that brother. And this is what it's going to show us. Go ahead.
And He will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
You see, the Most High is going to keep your sins in remembrance. That's why we went to Matthew 7 and 1. Judge not, lest ye be judged. If you can't forgive your brother, man, the Most High is going to remember you. Every time you face the east and Yahweh, please, we need this, we need that, He's going to look at you. You need a lot. But when your brother was in need for forgiveness, you weren't willing to forgive him. Read.
Verse 2. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he had done unto thee.
Go ahead.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven.
Man, the word is powerful. The word is true. Read.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest.
Right, read.
One man beareth hatred against another.
Read it again.
One man beareth hatred against another.
Go ahead.
And doth he seek pardon from the Lord?
Question mark. You bear hatred, but then you go to the Most High. You have the audacity. Knowing doggone well, Christ said, if you bring your gift to the altar and have aught with your brother, He said, leave that gift at the altar and go fix your problem with the brother, because you're trying to bring things to the Most High when you can't forgive your brother who is right there in front of you. You got that in John?
I got it in Matthew.
No, the one in 1 John. How could you say you love your brother whom you have not, whom you see? Or how could you say you love God whom you have not seen? Give me that one. Read on.
Verse 4. He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself.
And what does the law say? Who knows the law? What does the law say about your brother? Come on, y'all Hebrew Israelites. Gangster disciple, crip walking Hebrew Israelites. Love thy brother as thyself. What else? Huh? I can't hear you.
Go to your brother.
It says go to your brother, but what does it say in the law? Somebody get me Leviticus 19 and 17. Somebody get me quick. Who's the fastest?
Leviticus chapter
19, verse 17.
Okay, when you read, you sit down there, right?
You're right.
You're not reading.
God.
I mean, you. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Do what?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
You see that? You weren't supposed to hate your brother. That's the law. Read.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor.
Meaning that if you got a problem with him, go to him. If you got an issue, you're not supposed to let that bottle up inside of you. You deal with it. Or let it go. Like smoke. Let it go. Don't even play around with that. Read.
And not suffer sin unto him.
Right.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So you see that goes right with Romans, right with Thessalonians. Right? It goes right with what we're reading. You shouldn't bear a grudge or avenge. Go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's the law. Read on, Doc. Where you at? No. One more. Get 1 John 4 and 20. 1 John 4, verse 20. Go ahead and read it, Marwella. Let Marwella read it.
If a man say,
You gotta yell though, bro. Read.
If a man say, I love God, and he hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Right. How could you say you love the Most High, but you hate your brother? You a liar. But you see how deep that those grudges can get? You see how deep a grudge can get? What?
So let me ask you a question. So what if, because it's not that I've built up hatred towards the brother, but in parts when I was still with HOI, Bach said that we needed to go to counseling because the brother didn't want to go to counseling. He felt like he was emotional.
So what happens is, remember, no other man is supposed to determine your righteousness. If he didn't want to come to the council, you got to say, well, I was clear. I was willing to let this go and not bear a grudge, and you follow the commandments. You can't do nothing about that other man. You can do something about the spirits that are trying to take in beyond you. You see that? So you got to say, man, nah, I'm not going to let that demon jump on me and start dealing with brothers like he dealt with me. You see that? Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus.
No, 1 John. Read it again, Marwalla.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother,
Right.
he is a liar.
He's a liar. Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen?
Right. You got to work that voice, man. That means you got to yell. I know you're thinking you're loud, but you got to yell because they got to hear you. Read that again, Shaquat.
1 John chapter 4, verse 20.
Good job, though. Reading is on point, but we got to work on that voice. So when Hebrew Academy starts, you got to be here to project that voice. All right? Go ahead.
If a man say, I love God, and hate his brother,
Right.
he is a liar.
Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
You see that? You see your brother daily, but you can't stomach him?
That's a question online, actually.
Yeah, what'd they say? What's the question?
The question is from Corey. Can I forgive someone and not associate myself with them again?
Once again, you have to understand. Give me
the heretic or one keep not company with a fornicator. Give me those two.
Once again, you have to understand that there's instances where we're supposed to separate from certain individuals. Only certain. Not because he owed you $5 and he gave it to you later. Not because he stepped on your shoe. Not because she looked at you the wrong way. Now you're mortal enemies. There's a lot of foolishness like that. Not because these small things that you can forgive. There's laws on what persons you can totally cut off. They have to do something worthy of that. You understand? You're dealing with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Did he not forgive David of murder and adultery? Come on, y'all. That's why he's saying that. So, obviously, that's the whole extreme. But think about what's going on with you in your life. And what level. And I don't know. I don't know what level of offending that person. What I'm trying to do is show you biblically there was levels to where when this brother offends you, right, or sister offends you, at what level? The black man holds grudges off the smallest things.
Yep.
Right?
God.
Off the smallest things. And like you said, and nothing against you, Ashar, but I'm going to use your verbiage that you use. They believe it's the principle of the matter. That's what they say was the principle. It's really every principle of every matter, how it affects you, can be a reason why to not deal with this individual. So we can, it always can be a principle of the matter. Did he shoot your mom in the face? Did he sleep with your woman? Did he try to rape your bumhole? Okay, so we got the extreme out of the way. Let's go to the next thing. Does he owe you money? Right, you see what I'm saying? There's stages of like the devil, right? You know, why it says never trust thine enemy.
God.
Why we always look at them sideways? Because why? You know, somehow they might end up dragging your ass down the street in the back of the truck because they all got drunk one night, right?
That's right.
So you really like, nah, I'm not messing with them like that, right? So you got to see their stages. We're going to go through the stages. Yeah.
Okay, so when I said principle, I wasn't speaking in the worldly term far as principle like the streets. I said the principle because I know that the Lord says, thou shalt not steal from thy neighbor. So I made that point of, he stole that jacket from my wife.
Right.
So that's why I said the principle, because the Most High said you're not supposed to steal from your neighbor.
Right, so he's a nigga. He's an animal. He's a big lit beast. Right? But that's not how you're supposed to act. The scriptures still say for us how to carry ourselves even towards that individual that did me wrong. Avenge not, bear no grudge, bear no hatred. Now, what Corey's saying on the separation, we're going to get to that. What he said?
He said, I tried reasoning with an elder, and he had too much pride to be respectful. And I still gave him respect in the situation. And the elder is a pastor of a church.
Right. And you're going to get that. We were talking to this guy the other day. Same thing. He didn't want to hear.
Oh, right.
But remember this, and I'm glad he said the instant. Because is that really personal? Is that personal? When we go out and do the work of the Most High, this ain't personal. Like the brother at the street speaking that we got into it with, and he was like, he would not let me talk. And I was like, well, brother, the way you communicate is you talk and then I talk. He talked, I talk. He asked me to prove to him why Esau ain't on the 12 tribe chart. I went to do that. He should start talking over me. I'm like, brother, you asked me to prove it to you. You got to let me. And it ended up to him just talking over it. I was like, brother, we're not here to argue. Godspeed. You be on your way, right? That's not personal. That's not personal. You know why? I'll tell you a quick story, not drawn out. I was in Houston. It was when we first got there. I went to the food spot where they sell fish sandwiches. I got me a po' boy, a lawful one. And when I was in there, I was like, nah, I don't mess with no pork. the guy that was working there was a quote-unquote pastor, right? And he started, well, why you don't eat pork? And he's one of those old southern slave niggas that was, well, the law said anything you want to clean, you're eating. And he was doing all this shenanigans and all that. And I was looking at him like, no, the law says you don't supposed to eat that, right? And he was going through the old southern tongue and all that twang. And I looked at him and I said, brother, listen, I get it, but this is what the law says, right? It took him 9 months. I walked in the store one day, ordered the same sandwich, a po' boy. This guy broke down in tears right there. He said, man, what you was telling me was right. He said, I went to the doctor and they said I got diabetes and high blood pressure. He said, you got to cut out on the pork, shrimp, crab. This is not a story. This is real.
Yep.
And he was tearing up right there. And I said, brother, it's all good. I said, this is why the Most High gave us the laws. It's not personal. I ain't taking it personal. You ain't listening to me. You ain't listening to the scriptures. This ain't personal. Like, I ain't going home and like gonna be like thinking about you like that. I'm like, okay, they didn't hear the word. Maybe the Most High will wake them up someday, right? It's not personal what we're doing out there. This is the word of the Most High. We're supposed to do it with love, and we do. Now, we know Israel gets hard-headed, and what did the Most High say when they get hard-headed? Okay, you cut them sharply. Rebuke them sharply that all may fear. It's still not personal. Like, this is not, I know I seem hype, but I'm not. I'm going to go home right after this, get me a salad, and go out and street speak tomorrow and do the same thing and not think anybody, any illness or nothing. Because what I learned over the years is that it's not in your time. It's in the Most High's time. So, Corey, what I'm saying is, you got in this conversation. He wasn't hearing, but maybe he was. Maybe now you got to let the Most High intervene and then to wake that person up. You can't just be like everybody that ain't here because they don't come in at that time or here at that time. It's over. You don't know that. I'm going to say it again. Paul said it best. Judge nothing before it's time. Why? Because you can quit to judge and you don't know. So that's not a personal situation. I don't consider this work them personally against me.
Nope.
Who are they coming up against?
Ooh, I got it.
This is between them and the Most High.
Get that scripture.
All right, so that being said, where are we at? What do we got, Ariel?
Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, start at verse 9.
Now, this is talking about what?
The fornicator.
Right, so it's going to strictly put a division on between the fornicators and people that deal like this, right? Then we're going to go to Hebrews 5, 1 and 2. Then we're going to jump to the next one to show you, like, see, all these different instances, it was different individuals you was going to deal with different ways. Yeah, go ahead and read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. I wrote unto you in an epistle, not to company with fornicators.
Not to keep company with what?
With fornicators.
Go ahead.
Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world.
Right, you see that? He said, don't keep company with fornicators. You see that? So, it's a plain division. Like, I'm not keeping company with fornicators. Like, we don't supposed to do that. When brothers are doing that, they either have to stop, repent, or be put aside. Be like, all right, the way you live in that, you got to stop it. Or you're going to have to come back. Right? Because what's going to happen? Like, for instance, we had a few malls at one time. Coronavirus cut that down. But we would be in the mall and then we would get young brothers to work with us. But young brothers, what happened? You fly sexy and flashy, right?
Come.
All women come up. Oh, what you about? Oh, you believe in the Bible? Hype session. But you got brothers trying to get women and women and women and women. It's like, hold on a second, you don't even know how to clean your bedroom. I know because I've been in your room, right? Brother, your bathroom looked like somebody's head was blown off in the shower. How is it that you, like, the whole shower looks like somebody
a mafia movie?
Yeah, like a mafia movie. Like you spread your cheeks. It's like, wait a minute, brother, you don't even know how to clean your house. How could you clean a woman?
Damn.
Right? So, but we told the brother, we told the sister, nah, this brother's young in the truth. Right? But now he's fornicating, sleeping with this woman, this woman, having babies here and here. It's like, nah, bro, we're done with that. We told you not to do that. You see that? So that's when you separate from that. Why? Because this brother don't want to repent and stop. All right? What's the next one? Where are we at?
The heretic.
Now go to Hebrews 5:1. And then we'll go to the heretic. After the... Third admonishing, right? Where you at? Hebrews 5:1 and 2. Read that.
Titus 3.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 1.
Hebrews 5:1. Come on.
For every high priest taken from among men,
Right?
is ordained for men in things pertaining to God.
Right. Every high priest that was taken from among men, like you yourself, you're taken from among these men to be a priest and ordained by the Most High. Read.
That he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sin.
Now, we know the sacrificial thing is done away with, but you still have a duty to help that brother or sister out as a priest. And as you come in and go through the priesthood, then you'll be ready to do that. Ready to do what, though? Read.
Verse 2. Who can have compassion on the ignorant?
So, there will be a time that we have what?
Compassion on the ignorant.
But the compassion on the ignorant is different from a brother that's a fornicator. You see that? So, the ignorant is one that doesn't know. You get a lot of people out there, they don't know. They don't understand. It's different how you deal with them. With a person that's unlearned. Like, my 3-year-old, you think I'm going to deal with my 3-year-old the same way I deal with my 16-year-old?
No.
No, there ain't no, like, you know now, you're 16. You're grown. With the 3-year-old, I might what? Talk to him different, right? Address him a little bit different, like, nah, you can't do that now, right? But the 16-year-old is like, what the heck's your problem? Like, you know that's off, right? So, it's different between someone that's ignorant and unlearned and as opposed to someone that know what they're doing and being defiled and a fornicator, what?
I got a question. So, as far as a fornicator, what if there's a brother that's labeled as an elder, but he says that I can get with another man's wife because he's wicked, he's not in the truth, but his wife wants the truth, and you can't correct me.
What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? Are you an elder any longer if you're doing wickedness? The elders are supposed to carry themselves, right? A bishop must carry himself and be above reproach. If you can say he's committing adultery, then he's not above reproach. Okay. Do we commit adultery with any man? What's the commandment? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Or covet thy neighbor's right. So, you know that, right? You sure? Because you're asking the question.
No, I know that. No, I was asking you because
you're trying to see if we know that?
No, not you know. I was trying to figure something out because I know you're not supposed to do it, but he said that because her man doesn't want the truth and she wants the truth, by him already being in the truth, he could basically take her from him.
Thou shalt not commit adultery, yeah?
But he said it only applies to the Israelites.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. When you read the commandment, does it say that this only applies to Israelites in the truth?
No, that's even for Esau.
Yeah, that's not what the Bible says, huh? It says thou shalt not commit adultery. For them, you deal with them that are in and them that are without. Did you pull that one yet?
Yes, we did.
We did. We went over. Walk with wisdom to them that are without. Right. You was gonna say something?
That's why he had already brought it up. When you look, that's why the priest had already brought it up about when you look at David and he dealt with Uriah the Hittite's woman, Bathsheba. That was another nation. He was another nation, and David committed adultery with that man's woman. So the Most High punished him for his adultery, regardless if that's a Hebrew Israelite man or not. He punished him because he knew the law not to commit adultery, and that's what he did.
Okay. So, okay, y'all, I got text and they asking a question on this. Please text me your name. Maybe I didn't put it in here. Who's asking this question? That way I could know. Shalom, listen. Yeah, maybe text me your name because it's out of courtesy, just so I can know who I'm talking to. It says here. So, well, I have a question. Earlier, like it's how we're not supposed to commit adultery, but how having multiple wives not. See, okay, we're gonna have to. You're gonna take us totally from this whole subject right now. Okay, the multiple wives thing. A man adultery wasn't woman adultery. Now we're jumping subjects. We're still on this forgiving, but I'm going to veer a little bit for this question. All right, y'all? All right? Because we got to. All right? If we had all brothers been here 6-7 years, I'd probably just shove this one off, but you got too many new people that we got to go over these topics. So that's why class is going longer. All right? And we're jumping and moving around. So take good notes. Go to Leviticus. So adultery for a man is different than adultery for a woman. All right? Why? Okay, go ahead.
Well, the only way a woman would commit adultery if she was already married and she slept with another man.
Right. The only way a woman would commit adultery if she was married and slept with another man.
And the only way a man would commit adultery if he slept with his neighbor's wife or either's wife.
Right. Or he slept with another man's wife. Period. So that's adultery. Now let's go to the Bible and let's prove that. Let's go to Leviticus. Yeah, 20. Leviticus 20. Straight to the point. Not beating around the bush. If you read English, it tells you right here, right?
God.
20 and 10. Read.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10.
Right?
And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
What they what?
Another man's wife.
Right, because if she's single, like think about it. Almost all of our forefathers had more than one woman. So that means that we were just an adulterous nation? Nah, it don't work like that. We were born out of adultery? No. So they knew the laws too. That you couldn't deal with another man's wife. That is what is considered adultery for a man. Go ahead, Al.
Doesn't the Most High make an example of that, or he's saying that a son is not supposed to look at his father's wife?
Right.
But some brothers use that and twist it to talk against multiple wives.
Well, let's deal with one thing at a time. I know you got a lot up here, and it's just, but I'm trying to keep trying to deal with one thing at a time, so we won't. You got people online asking questions. You're coming with questions/statements. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to jump too much because then it's going to get chaotic. All right, let's deal with this. The question is, what makes a man adulterous? Is when a man sleeps with another man's wife. That means men, if she's betrothed to another man also. You know how in the world when she was like, well, he's just my friend. No, that's her man.
Right.
Well, we just hang out. No. your man. You understand that?
Con.
It don't work like that. Soon as you know she's dealing with somebody, finito. Don't get the number. Don't get her Instagram. Don't get her TikTok. Don't get her Facebook. She got a man. That's why you got to be careful on social media who you talk to now that you're a Hebrew Israelite and how you're dealing with them. Because you're going to be talking all these scriptures and then you start friending married women and then talking to them like they're your buddies.
Oh, women have that.
Women of the world do that. You see that? Go to my ribs Facebook. They ain't sitting out there talking to no man unless it's brothers and sisters. You understand? That they know. She ain't talking to some random guy. She's talking to brothers and sisters in the camp.
Right.
That you need a garment, brother, come, we got you. And that's just, where does it go? Shalom. You see what I'm saying? Unless you literally are brothers, like he grew up literally with Shalamayim. So they're like brother and sister. Shawashina and them, like certain of us, we're past like brothers and sisters in the truth. We like family, like your brothers, right? It's like you boys, but you like family, right? That's where we are now, and that comes obviously with time. But you know, other than that, you're not sitting down with no man's woman. You see that? And even if they're being brothers and sisters, you're never going to sit down. They're never going to be going to the movies together. Him buying her candy and chocolate. The only gift she gets is from Hanukkah or what is it? Purim. That's it. When we hand out gifts to each other, you know what I mean? But you see, you got to say all these things because the scriptures say, "Sit not at all with another man's wife, drinking wine and holding her in your arms." All right. And it don't mean you can't get a ride from the sister, because we had a brother, I ain't getting no ride. Brother, she's doing charitable works. She's going to give you a ride home. Relax. Like, you don't got to get spooky. You know what I mean? But, yeah, otherwise you ain't, y'all know what it is, right? You know the conduct. You should know the conduct as a man. Right? Okay, so read it one more time.
And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Right. You see that? So they will be put to death. All right. Let's go to the woman. So that's for the man. Deuteronomy. Let me see here what I got here real quick too. On this side. Oh, one more to add to that one first before we go to the woman. Deuteronomy 22 and 22. Deuteronomy 22 verse 22. This is going to get straight to the point. I think this is better than ever. Deuteronomy 22 verse 22.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 22.
Right.
If a man be found lying with a married woman.
With a what?
With a married woman.
Straight to the point, right? You better write it down. If a man be found lying with a married woman. You see that? Not single, a married woman. Go ahead.
To a husband, then shall both of them die. Both the man that lie with the woman, and the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
Right. We don't supposed to do that. Right. You see that? That's why I jump over to 21 and 15. You see the difference? So we're showing you the difference. Like, this man wasn't supposed to deal with a married woman. Now jump over to 21 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 21.
Straight out of the Torah. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
If a man have two wives.
You see that? If it was unlawful, what's the next word? Bring them both out, stone them and kill them, right? That's what we've been reading, right?
Done.
Go ahead. You see that? Now he's telling you if you're in this situation where you're dealing with two women, but the next word wasn't like the other ones was what? If a man be found lying with two wives, bring him out and stone him? No. It's a whole different situation. Read on.
One beloved and another hated.
Right.
And they have borne him children.
So what is this verse telling you? One, in the law, we have more than one woman. Two, how to deal with them. You were going to treat them fairly. Got that?
Good.
You see how it's easy, straight to the point in the law. So, yes, it's not adultery for a man to have, biblically, a man to have two wives. Now, let's go to the woman. Let's go to the woman. We'll go to that one after we hit the one in the law. Y'all got the one in Leviticus? Okay, hold on. Maybe I thought they were already. Remember, because these were about the men. Let's get the one about the women. It's Leviticus. Let me find it. And I'm gonna say this while we're getting this. This is why it's important. Shabbat morning class, which is tomorrow. All right, we're going to start doing Shabbat morning class too, when brothers are more consistent and we can get readers, because when we do Sabbath morning class, you usually have 7 brothers read. Okay? And we're new in this city and we're waiting for brothers to step up. So we're not just going to be here by ourselves like regular class. The actual ceremony is a few things. So we need brothers to start coming to class. You know what I mean? And when that happens, we'll be doing it. Otherwise, Sabbath morning class is online until y'all get out to street speaking. The ones that come out. Y'all find that one? If she, give me 1 second. I thought it was sweet. We gotta find this one, because you're gonna see in the lingo. Yeah, we go through a lot of these in the Sabbath morning class. It might not be in Leviticus. There is one in here. Usually it's Leviticus and repeats in Deuteronomy.
You want one on Mark 10?
Okay, let me find it. Hold on. I thought I had it noted. Israel won't text you their name. Go to that one real quick in the Apocrypha while I look for the one in Deuteronomy. Or Leviticus?
Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and verse 22. Ecclesiasticus.
Wow, I can't find it. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Go to that one first. And then I'll get this other one.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and verse 22. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband.
So
now we're talking about how a wife leaves her husband, just dealing with this adultery and understanding the difference. So a wife leaving her husband, go ahead.
And bring it in an heir by another.
So now this woman has laid with another man and brought forth a child. Well, let's see exactly what was going on when she left. And a lot of relationships are like that. You just leave. The man don't want you to leave. But she's like, I don't want to be around with you no more. The man didn't let you go. The scripture says that you bound unto him until death. That's what the law says. Read.
For first, she had disobeyed the law.
She did what?
She had disobeyed the law of the Most High.
They're showing that you're bound to your husband. If he didn't let you loose, give you a bill of divorce, you're still married to your husband. It says that she disobeyed the law. Go ahead.
And secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
Yeah, now she done sinned against her head because she's doing things out of order. That's why the Bible is beautiful, because it will show you specifics and understanding what is lawful and what is unlawful. It says she trespassed against her husband. Go ahead.
And
thirdly, read.
She had played the whore.
Because now you're dealing with multiple men. And it's the same thing with that psychological adultery. Now you're dealing with different philosophies. That's why the Most High called us whores, because we're bouncing around. But it's dealing with this woman. It says that thirdly, she's playing the whore. She's not being faithful. She was supposed to be striving with her husband. But what happened? Emotions, feelings, she dipped off. That was the wrong thing according to the law. You got to strive until death with that marriage. That's a beautiful thing about our culture as well as that we just didn't throw people away. We had to deal with each other, talk it out, understand. The Most High said she was playing the whore. Read.
Thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery.
In what?
In adultery.
Because she left her husband. She left her husband without his approval. Without him saying, you know what? Since we can't get along, we're going to separate ways. Obviously, the husband didn't say that. Keep reading.
And brought children by another man.
See, but a lot of sisters think this. They think that they can move as they want to. Now you done found another Captain Save a woman. You know, Mr. This dude treats me a lot better. What happened?
Thirdly, and brought children by another man.
Go ahead.
She shall be brought out into the congregation.
We got to see, because what was happening, how this woman was moving, whenever she moved from her husband, she played the whore in adultery. Says she's going to be brought out. Y'all got to see this. There's a specification and a difference between adultery between a woman and a man. And we're going through the scriptures to show you this. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, and we're at verse 23 right now. Read that last precept.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and verse 23. For first, she had disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
Come on.
And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery.
Read.
And brought children by another man.
Because we got to see that there's a penalty. Just like how a man, if he slept with another man's woman, what happened to him, class?
Put to death.
Put to death. Now let's see what happens when this woman moves outside of her husband's wisdom, her husband's direction. She's moving off her own emotions. I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Right.
Let's see what happens. What is the penalty for whenever you move like this? Read.
She shall be brought out into the congregation.
She shall be what?
Brought out into the congregation.
She's going to be brought out in front of the congregation, because it has to be shown that this is not the proper way to do things. This is not the proper way. If you have an issue with your husband, this ain't the proper thing to do, is move on to another situation. This is not a sitcom. This is not a novella. The Bible gives us specific instructions on how for us to live life and what's right and what's wrong. A woman cannot do this. That's why she's going to be brought up to the congregation and shown. This woman right here did something that was wrong in the law. Read.
And inquisition shall be made of her children.
Yeah, whose kids are these? Where'd these come from? Because I don't think that was Joseph. I don't think those are Joseph kids. Those might have been Nathaniel over there. Who's these kids right here that you brought forward? You thought you were so happy to have them. See, my new boo. Got the new crib, house, clothes, food. Got my new boo. Oh, you think that passing of you forgetting your husband, the Most High didn't forget that. The Most High didn't forget that. An inquisition we brought out about these children. Go ahead.
Her children shall not take root.
They'll what?
Shall not take root.
Yeah, the children will not take root. That's the penalty. What that mean? Those children they're affected by their mother's move, by that ignorant move, emotional move, because that was adultery in the law. Read.
And her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
Her what? Read that again.
Her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
Y'all gotta understand, this is the Bible. The Most High God. Now we're starting to understand the spirit of the Most High. This is out of the law. Her kids, her branches will not take root because you did things out of order. Read.
She shall leave her memory to be cursed.
Why? Because your memory, you're going to be known by you moving out of the spirit of the Most High. You going against the law. It has to be shown because you know why? That little seed is going to grow in other women. And now, you know what? Shoot. Me and Tyrone had an argument tonight. I'm leaving too. No, It had to be shown that was not the right thing to do. That was adultery when it regards a woman. A woman's not meant to be passed from man to man to man. Look at our sisters now. They're crazy, bipolar. Why? Because they're dealing with different philosophies, different spirits with these men. Our women was never meant to be like that. That's why when you read it in the law, our women were virgins, man. And when it dealt with if a woman wasn't a virgin, what happened? The man was like, I thought she was a virgin. She was brought out, either stoned. If the man was lying, he got the penalty. But we got to see that our women did not deal with moving around. That's adultery in the eyes of the Most High. Let me finish this. Go ahead.
And her reproach shall not be blotted out.
Because it has to be shown. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot's wife. She looked back. That got to be a memory for everybody to understand. You're not supposed to look back. And the same thing with this adulterous woman is that this is not what a righteous woman does. This is not how a righteous woman moves. It has to be shown. We're not dealing with L. Ron Hubbard Scientology or our emotions and feelings. We're dealing with the Most High Power God. This is what he's bringing out of the scriptures of how we should deal. How a woman, what's adultery to a woman and what's adultery regarding a man.
Romans, go to Romans 7.
Romans chapter 7.
You can read 1 to 3.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 1. Because now we're getting the understanding of what real adultery is. A lot of people, he cheated on me. Did he really? Huh? You know? Oh, man, he treated me this way. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, men in the world, listen, they move foolishly. They're not ordained and moving under the laws of the Most High. But when it comes to righteous men, whenever you're locked into the Spirit, there's a way that the Most High wants us to move and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Right. Okay, so we jumped off, obviously, the topic of the topic. Okay? We're off that topic. Yeah, y'all see how this is going. People are asking questions, so we're jumping from topic to topic. So, as far as the topic of forgiving, y'all can finish that class with Ecclesiasticus 28. All right? We jumped on this question because it was a question within that. All right? We're trying to facilitate everybody getting their questions answered. So we are off that. All right? So you got Romans.
Romans chapter 7, verse 1.
Hold on a second. Go to go ahead and read that.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
To them that know the law. Go ahead.
How that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
So when it's saying man, it's saying man and woman. It's over us as long as we live. Go ahead.
For the woman which has an husband is
Right.
bound by the law.
Right. So the woman that has a husband is bound by the what?
The law.
Go ahead.
To her husband.
Go ahead.
So long as he liveth.
So long as he what?
Liveth.
So long as he lives. Go ahead.
But if the husband be dead.
But if the husband be dead, go ahead.
She is loose from the law of her husband.
So, when's the only time that a woman can technically leave her husband? Because we know, we gotta say this during this generation. Obviously, if he's a drug dealer, if he's threatening her life, choking her out, beating her, does she have to stay with that man? No. Or should she got to stay with him? So Christ is going to make that man, that woman, stay with some man that's a psychopath, killer, try to kill her? No. That's why it says though she can't leave, she can't divorce if it's for fornication. And obviously, if this man is doing things outside of the spirit to that level, yes, that woman can leave. It's not, let's be clear. That's why the law of divorce was there. We talked about that also. But Christ said it wasn't supposed to be that way. How it was supposed to be is that this woman would never leave. Right? Okay. But we're dealing with adultery anyway. If she leaves her man and goes sleep with another man, we're finding out that she's what? She's committed adultery. Right? She doesn't have two. You don't read in the Bible where, well, she has two husbands.
Right, and that's a new thing now.
Yeah.
That's the new thing in the world. Oh, if my boyfriend, what is it? If my boyfriend can't accept my husband and he can't, I'm like, what the heck? The entanglement. That's how the world looks. Or that's how they're looking at things. It's opposite of the Most High. That is out of control. But they're doing mockery. It's mockery against the word of the Most High, man. Yeah, Esau is hilarious, man. But we're seeing out of the Bible what's right and what's wrong. Plain and simple. Listen, again, I like to say it all the time. We don't deal with emotions. We deal with the scriptures. All right? Read where you at.
Verse 3. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called adulteress.
So there you go. So while she liveth, if she be married or she deals with another man, sleeps with another man, she shall be called an adulteress. Then you can go back to that Exodus 20:14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. All right? So, it's a lot. There was the other one I was looking for. But any other questions? Online, in class? I mean, y'all see we'll be doing this all night. We'll be going over script. We can do this all night. Topics, questions, scriptures. So, I want to say this as far as forgiving. I'm hoping y'all got that. There's a lot more too. There's a lot more in this forgiving thing. So, did that help out a little bit? Okay. All right. So, do we got any other questions before we end? I mean, y'all know the deal. We ain't got nowhere to go. We going home. So, if y'all got any questions,
It's the Sabbath, man.
it's a Sabbath. What you gonna go home and do? Chill. You gonna go relax. You gonna go study. You gonna open up the book. So if y'all got any more questions, drop them real quick. If not, we'll conclude class. Anybody? Let me see who. Okay. Whoever texts me, let me know if that answered your question about adultery. Huh? 901, yeah. Oh, okay, alright. Right. Let me know. Right, so we see that, right? We see that about the adultery for man and woman. And when you look through the scriptures, real quick, you see that the men in the Bible, right? David had more than one wife.
Gideon.
Right? Gideon had more than one wife. Eli had more than one wife. Like, I mean, we can keep going all through the Bible.
Jedediah.
You can have, like, many men had.
When you look at Israel, we came from different women.
Right.
Israel, Jacob, whose name became Israel, had multiple women, and that's how you develop the 12 tribes of Israel. So we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for that.
Now that being said, we gotta go ahead and always give the disclaimer Because we know what the Bible says, that a man can have more than one woman. But we remind these brothers that's coming to the truth that you got to be able to take care and deal with one woman first. Like, your mind should be geared on the priesthood. It's how you coming in the truth. You ain't lived one brick.
Right.
You ain't did no work for the Most High, but you trying to have multiple wives. So let's get it clear on this subject of women. All right? Because we ain't teaching brothers just to be these players and pimps and I got 2 women. It'd be funny because it'd be those cats that's trying to get women that ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? They don't do, it's like, bro, where you at? You took a test? You became a bishop? No, you still a member, but you want to have like 5 wives?
So what you need them for?
Like, what do you need them for? Because if they ain't helping out the ministry, then what you need them for? Well, they helping out me. Yeah, but you still don't understand what those women were for then. The women, when we gained women in the scriptures, it was to help out the body, the ministry. So you're trying to say you ain't dedicated to the ministry, she ain't dedicated to the ministry, but you think you're going to have them in order? It don't work like that.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what we remind brothers, because I don't want people to get it twisted, like we teach you can just go out there and wild out. Now the law says what it says. I'm not saying it's against the law, but I am going to say we warn brothers that if you're going to come in here and do works of righteousness, you need to learn how to deal with one woman first. All right? So, any other questions on that? Toby? Where's it at, Toby?
He didn't say it.
You did? Corey, where is it at in Tobit? What's the question? You put in Tobit where?
This is big court, right?
Where's your question at? We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll wait for a few seconds on that. While we're waiting for that, I'm saying that what I was saying about, it's important to say that to the young brothers because you got to think about, the rib you would, and if she's going to lock in the spirit, and if she can teach your other rib how to be righteous. This ain't that she over there, she arguing with her. That's hood niggerism. You don't want that. So this ain't the same thing like what you do in the world. You cutting up one, she wild as hell. You cutting up the other, she wild as hell. They come to your job, punching holes in your car. Like now you got 2 demons? Nah. They got to be in order under Yahweh Shai. And obviously, if they are in order in righteousness, then they got to be doing and following the commandments.
Yeah. When you look at it, the scripture says about the Most High created the woman to be a helpmeet. You know what I'm saying? A helpmeet in what? A helpmeet in doing this word. The Most High called us. They're right along with you, man. She's a helpmeet. So we got to see that it just wasn't about just partying and no, it was righteousness. It was family. It was order. Building a nation.
Yep.
Yeah. So Corey's question was, it's in Tobit. Was Tobit and Regal related in the book of Tobit? And was it okay for Tobit to marry his cousin?
Let me go over that. Before I answer that one, let me look at that. All right, I'm not going to be rash with that one. I'm going to double check that one because I've been in Tobit, but I want to double check that before I speak on it. All right. So what we do is we'll answer that one tomorrow. I sent it to you. Do you see it? Now we see it. Yeah. We're going to answer that tomorrow. Quadazap's going to answer that for you. So I'm going to go over it tonight with him, and he's going to answer it tomorrow. All right? So, any other questions? Nothing? Nothing? Nada? Alright. Alright, so if that's it, everybody salute them online. Say shalom.
Shalom.
We will see you tomorrow morning for Shabbat morning class.
I was saying, them online.